Super Mario Bros Remastered. This is absolutely amazing, and I have to show you this. So we are going to start here. This is the GitHub page. I'll have the link in the description. It'll bring you right here. If you've ever been to some of these projects' GitHub pages, it can look a little bit confusing at first. You just see all these files, and you're like, I don't know what to download. Well, in a lot of these cases, just scroll down. And there you go, Super Mario Bros. Remastered. A little description of what it is, and it says requires an original Super Mario Bros. 1 NES ROM to play. None of the original assets are contained in the source code. So anyways, we got a download link here. Just click here. We got Linux, Windows, the zip files, and we got the source code if you're, smarter than me and you actually know what to do with it. This is open source, of course. So yeah, we are just going to click the windows.zip and that's going to download. It's a fairly small file, like 66 megabytes. And I'm going to go to my downloads folder here. And we are going to unzip the windows.zip file. And in here, there is one exe file. Just got to run it. This is so simple. Now, Windows Defender is probably going to scream that it thinks this is like unsafe. You're simply running an exe file and it doesn't know what this exe file is. So just click more information and click run anyways. As far as I can tell, this is perfectly safe. Again, it's open source. So disclaimer, Super Mario Bros. Remastered is not... Okay, well that went by too fast. I couldn't read it. I love the sound effects there, though. I might have to turn the audio down. Right about there, probably. Looks good. Okay. So, ROM verification required. Please drag and drop your Vanilla World Super Mario Bros. ROM into this window. Yeah, I was blown away when I first saw this. Like, it can't be this easy, can it? We literally just go, again, I'm going to go back to my downloads folder where I've got smb.nes. And of course, I will not have a link in the description for this. You'll have to find this on your own. But you know what? I Googled it and I found it in like 2 seconds. So I'm sure you guys can handle that. So we're going to take our Super Mario Bros. NES ROM and drag it onto this window. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And there you go. Yeah, it's incredibly easy. So I've already played this on my home theater PC. Just using my, Bluetooth 8-bit DO SN30 Pro. Here I'm on my main PC now. I'm using a USB to Super Nintendo controller dongle, and I'm using a real Super Famicom controller. Is it going to work out of the box? It does. Okay, so this is our main menu. Now, first of all, we can go into settings, and we can go full screen. Okay? Now, as you can see, it defaults to 4:3, but we can also set this to widescreen, okay? We've got different rendering options, VSync, etc. And the HUD spacing defaults to stretched, which I prefer. Otherwise, it stays sort of in the 4:3 area. And this is just the settings for video. So if you go up to video here, you can see there's like left-right arrows. And we've got audio. There's a skidding sound effect now when Mario turns around when he's running really quickly. That's on by default, but you can turn it off. You got extra sound effects that are off, but you can turn on. Okay. Under visuals, we've got parallax. This does have parallax scrolling, so the backgrounds are a little more detailed. Again, a lot of stuff here that you can change, including colorful pipes, which is on by default, but if you only want green pipes like the original, again, you can turn that off. Other than that, I'm not really sure. There's these resource packs. I'm not really sure what this is for. Is maybe like importing custom-made levels and stuff like that. And then you've got stuff like difficulty, damage style. So modern is like when taking damage, you'll go from like fire to big instead of fire all the way back down to small like you would in the original. So this does make it a little bit easier. But if you're used to modern Mario games, you're going to like that. If you want the original way, you can turn it off. Again, there's so many options here. You can really set this up the way that you want. Okay. So I'm just going to hit B, and we're going to go to play game. So here we have Super Mario Brothers, the original. I just realized my mouse cursor is in the way this whole time. Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels. We got Super Mario Brothers Special, which I absolutely love. So we will be taking a look at that. We've got the All Night Nippon. This is some weird, like, back in the day, it was kind of official. Super Mario Brothers, almost like a ROM hack for some Japanese radio hosts or something. I don't know. It was kind of weird. And then custom levels again. So I'm going to start off with just Super Mario Brothers. I'm going to go to Story, which is just your regular game. And then character selects. We got Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Toadette. I'm just going to go with Luigi. And my D-pad isn't working, so I'm going to have to go into Settings and Controller. Okay, so it's trying to do a left stick, even though I'm on a Super Nintendo controller. I don't have an analog stick. So we should be able to change this. Yeah, okay. Good. Yeah, so this should work just fine now. Yep. And yeah, as you can see, obviously 16 by 9, we're seeing more of the level than usual, and that's awesome. We've also got these really cool drop shadows. Again, the colorful pipes, and again, you can turn this all off if you don't want it. Hey, where's my one up? There it is. Ah, fuck. I didn't want to go too far off the screen and not be able to go down here. Again, being 16 by 9, you're fitting more on the screen at a time. So you may be able to do things like that you couldn't do in the original. Again, if you don't want it 16 by 9, you can still set it to 4 by 3, and actually it defaulted to 4 by 3. So kind of odd, some of the stuff they default to 4 by 3 when most people are going to probably want to go to 16 by 9. But, you know, they default to colorful pipes. But you can, again, you can adjust everything you want. And there's just so many options. And again, the backgrounds. You know, I think we had like backgrounds in Super Mario All-Stars. Were they parallax? Was there like background? Yeah, there was backgrounds here. So, something we've sort of seen before, I guess. Now, I'm not sure what that is. I want to say checkpoints? That's my only guess. But every once in a while, it makes that sound effect, and you get like a little icon above your player's head. So, yeah, I'm assuming it's some sort of a checkpoint thing, but I don't know, to be honest. And yeah, here's I think the first level now we've seen where the music is new. So we've got new music and like new theming to the levels, which, you know what, I actually kind of like. Oops. Oh, well, there you go. So there you can see I went from Fire Mario to still being big when I took a hit, instead of going straight to small. Shit, like we would have normally. And I can go small straight back to firepower. Being widescreen, again, stuff like that turtle shell bouncing, I don't think in the original it would have made it all the way to that pipe. It would have went off screen and then out of memory, basically. So again, having the wider screen does actually change the gameplay a little bit. Another thing, too, is like your fireballs, right? Because you can only fit... you can only fit 2 fireballs on the screen at a time, right? So you can shoot 2 fireballs, and like if they're hitting something, then you can rapidly shoot pretty quick, right? But when they have to go across the screen, like it takes them a while to get across the screen. So you can shoot 2, but then you gotta wait, and it's gonna take longer for those to get off screen again, because our screen is wider, our ratio is wider. And Luigi does jump a little bit higher, I think, so you can jump over the flag with him. But I did want to show, at least this far into the game, to show the new theming and the new music. And then we're going to go into a water level, and they haven't changed the music here, so. I'm going to hit start. I'm going to quit back to menu. And I'm going to show you guys Super Mario Bros. Special because I absolutely love Super Mario Bros. Special. I have a ROM hack version of this, like an NES ROM that I play on my EverDrive on a real NES. And it's my absolute favorite alternative to Super Mario Bros. Levels. And I'm going to play as Toadette just to give you something different. Actually, I think Toadette looks awesome. I assume Toad basically looks the same, but yeah, awesome animation and sprite work and colors. Yeah, so Super Mario Bros. Special, if you don't know, I'll try to explain this the best I can, was an official, I guess, release of Super Mario Brothers, sort of like a pseudo sequel in Japan on some Japanese home PC. Was it the Sharp or the, I don't know, it was like NEC PC99 or some Sharp thing. You got to remember Japan, you know, DOS computers weren't as popular. The Commodore 64 maybe wasn't as popular. They kind of had like their whole own thing going on there with, you know, the MSX stuff and like some of the Japanese brands like Sharp and NEC. And so, yeah, one of those Japanese home computers got this weird release of like a Super Mario Brothers game that was basically like Super Mario Brothers 1 graphics with new levels, which I always say think like Super Mario Brothers 2. But I don't really like Super Mario Brothers 2. Like, not gonna lie, for me personally, it's too hard. This is like all new levels, just like you would get all new levels in the Super Mario Brothers 1, you know, engine. But the difficulty level, I think, is like roughly just the same as whoops, as the original Super Mario Brothers. So was that a checkpoint? Yeah. Okay, so there's checkpoints. So, like, yeah, okay. So my guess was correct. I think that's the first time I've died playing this game. and got noticed the checkpoint thing. But yeah, Super Mario Bros. Special is, like, I can't recommend this enough. If you want to play Super Mario Brothers with all new levels, but you don't want the difficulty spike of Super Mario Brothers 2 or the Lost Levels. And, you know, there's a lot of ROM hacks out there where people make their own levels, and, you know, obviously it's like a mixed bag in terms of quality of level design. This is official, and the level design is excellent. All the levels on this are excellent, and this could be an official release. I mean, it was in a way, but not really. The way it played on that home PC was the no smooth scrolling. Got to remember, PCs and stuff in the 80s, oops, didn't really have smooth scrolling, you know? That's something where the consoles, like the NES, and the way that their you know, PPU works is, you know, scrolling and moving around sprites, tile-based system and all that. It's kind of like smooth scrolling is what they are meant to do, and PCs, that's not what they are meant to do. You know, especially when we think of the PC here and we're thinking of the IBM PC standard. Really wasn't meant for games. You know, it became great for that, but not really what it was meant for originally. And so, yeah, a lot of PCs in the 80s, you know, couldn't do smooth scrolling very well. You know, on the PC side of things, I think it was really games like Commander Keen that were some of the early smooth scrolling games on PC to rival console. You know, PCs could do graphics better in other ways. You know, bitmap style stuff, maybe. And, you know, more memory. for storing images and stuff in other ways. So for like adventure games and stuff, they had advantages, but for scrolling smoothly, it wasn't easy. And so this game on this Japanese home PC, and again, I can't remember if it was like a PC 99 or some NEC or Sharp thing. And yeah, it didn't scroll, and you're thinking, what? It didn't scroll? Like what? Super Mario Brothers game? And it didn't scroll? Yeah, like you would literally just walk to the edge of a screen and it would snap to the next screen. So you had this like screen snapping. So yeah, so the level design was there and the licensing was there, but it didn't play like Super Mario Brothers on the NES or the Famicom. Oh wow, I haven't seen this level. Again, new music, new theming, new graphics all around, really, right? Like the floor in the background, the plants. And I'm here for it. I absolutely love it. Again, more variety is great. And again, the level design on this special, Super Mario Brothers Special, is top tier. And it's almost a shame that this game came out on a system that didn't have the scrolling and really didn't play as good as it could have. And again, so I have like a ROM hack for this where you get these level designs on Super Mario Brothers on NES, and I can play that on a real NES. But now you can play it here as easily as you saw. And again, I can't recommend this enough. The level design here is just absolute top notch. This is the Super Mario Brothers sequel that you've never played. And it's not balls hard like fucking the Lost Levels. So, yeah, I think it's really cool that this is so easily available. It gives you so many options. And new music, new sprites. Everything looks and sounds amazing. And you've got easy access to these the special levels here. Which again, you have to check this out if you've never checked this out. So, and again, it's so easy to get this running that it's again, drop the ROM on the window. What? Are you serious? I did not expect that. Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. And like, I haven't touched the surface. Obviously, there's like user created levels you can load in here. So there's, you know, maybe ultimately an almost infinite, you know, amount of content here. Think like Super Mario Brothers Maker kind of stuff. But, you know, and with so many options, you know, I'm not necessarily here for the user created levels. Oh shit, that was luck. I'm here for this Super Mario Brothers Special, and even just playing original Super Mario Brothers in a new way, widescreen with all these options and new characters and graphics and music and everything. This is just absolutely amazing. A testament to the open source community. And the fact that, you know, again, as I always say, just some dudes in their basement, you know, making shit this is top tier. I mean, Nintendo could release this and people would pay good money for this. Whoop. Alright, yep, so I am going to leave it there. Well, in-game, you can access most of the settings, so you can change stuff in real time. I mean, I can't say enough about this, and I love... Check this out just for Super Mario Bros. Special. If you've never played Super Mario Bros. Special, you have to play it, and it's never been easier to access as it is right here, right now. Let alone all the other extras that you're getting. So yeah, totally awesome. Check it out, and see you guys later.